Welcome back, everyone. This is the Fantasy Facts Podcast brought to you by Fantasy Data. Tonight, Seth and I are breaking down, actually, this is part 4 of our series of the divisional breakdowns. Tonight, we're talking AFC South. We're talking quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, tight ends, sleepers, studs, breakouts, busts. Make sure you're giving the show a follow at the Fantasy Facts on Twitter. Find us on YouTube, like, follow, subscribe. Hit the little notifications button so you're notified when all the new shows come out. Seth, how we doing?
Fantastic. And because this is part 4, if you're just hearing it now, go on the YouTube channel and go back and watch the other ones because there's been plenty of guys that we've been talking through, and hit us up with like, hey, I totally agree with this, or no, or whatever. Like, jump on Twitter, jump on YouTube, jump on any of the spaces that we're on. We love that engagement. So if you're just joining us now, jump in there. So go back, listen.
Let's talk quarterbacks of the AFC South. The newest addition here is Matt Ryan in Indy. Mm-hmm. He joins Trevor Lawrence, Ryan Tannehill, and Davis Mills. And so far, Matt Ryan, in my opinion, is the best quarterback in the AFC South.
Ooh. Yeah,
maybe. Okay.
I mean, I honestly, like, compared to the other divisions that we talked about, there's studs in all of those divisions, right? This division is by far the weakest group of them. Yeah. So if you wanted to make the argument for Matt Ryan being the top guy here, like, okay, yeah, maybe it's Tannehill, but he did just lose his top target in A.J. Brown. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's Davis Mills. Maybe it's Trevor Lawrence. They're both sophomores. And yet Trevor Lawrence, everybody wants to think he's going to make this awesome step forward with Jacksonville. I actually think Trevor Lawrence, he's going to disappoint people the most. And I can't call him a bust though, because he's going as quarterback 21.
Yeah.
You're not really a bust if you're going at quarterback 21. You're barely on super flex rosters if you're going at quarterback 21. That to me makes him not a bust, but I think he's going to disappoint people the most because the expectations have gotten so high for him. And yes, I agree. Kicking out Urban Meyer, good first step. That's a great first step to him being better. But I need to see more of that, and not more of them kicking out Urban Meyer. Maybe I do need to see more of that. That could be pretty funny. But I need to see more from him on the field before I get excited for him the way I see a lot of other people really getting excited for Trevor Lawrence this year.
Yeah.
I'm actually most excited about Davis Mills in Houston because he's just so far down the ADP list for quarterbacks that I'm excited.
What's crazy, right? So we get our ADP from FantasyData.com. Davis Mills is coming off the board at pick 164. Ryan Tannehill is coming off the board a full 10 picks later than Davis Mills. That's wild to me. Tannehill offers a very safe floor, very consistent floor. He's your ideal QB2 in a Superflex league. But let's move to running back. And this is where we get into the absolute studs. And you said it before the show, but I want you to say it again right now. What's the theme here of the AFC South?
All I remember beforehand was just going Jonathan Taylor.
That's right. Jonathan Taylor.
Because that's the guy.
Stud.
That is that dude.
Derrick Henry, stud. Mm-hmm. Right? Then we start getting into some question marks. Jacksonville. You have Travis Etienne coming off the Liz Frank. Mm-hmm. You have James Robinson coming off an Achilles.
Yep. The rookie Snoop Connor.
Snoop Conner is my sleeper. He is my sleeper for the AFC South because he's behind two guys that are coming off pretty significant injuries. Yes, ETN has, by all accounts, looked good and looked great and looked better than he did in college. That's fine. He still hasn't played a single down in the NFL, and he's coming off an injury that can severely impact his ability to do his job. So my sleeper is Snoop Conner in Jacksonville in the AFC South.
Yeah, I really like that. And I think you're hitting on one of the things with ETN that makes me nervous. And again, I don't want to label Travis Etienne a bust because one, I think that would send people into a tailspin.
We've never seen him play a down in the NFL. We have no idea.
Right. And people are like, well, that's every rookie. Right. But he's not a rookie. He's a sophomore. Like he got hurt before he could get onto the field. Like there is some things that are working against like what he possibly could be. He probably stands the most to let people down because he has different ways to let people down. People are expecting him to lead this team in rushing. If not lead, be very high in terms of target share and receptions and receiving yards and receiving touchdowns. People are expecting him to be the focal point of this offense. And could that be the case? It could be. I mean, he's beating out Zay Jones and Christian Kirk and the corpse of Marvin Jones. Sorry, Marvin Jones, you were great for me in fantasy 10 years ago. But yeah, he could do all of those things.
Yeah.
But man, if he doesn't, and the hype that people are putting around him, and the fact that he's going to be going, I'm putting it out there, he's going to be going in probably the third, maybe not the third. He's definitely going in the fourth round. Right now, he's going right at the fifth, right around the fifth round. He's going to be at least into the fourth round, maybe tiptoeing around the third round by the time we get to September. Yeah. And that's prime for letting people down.
Yeah. Let's move to probably the weakest position here in the AFC South. And we're talking tight ends. Right now we're looking at Pharaoh Brown, Mo Alley Cox, Evan Ingram, and Austin Hooper as your starting tight ends for the Texans, Colts, Jags, and Titans, respectively. This is a whole bunch of just meh.
Yeah, so I'm going to concede my time talking about tight ends because none of them are really worth attacking. And I'm going to go back to running back for a second because you conveniently didn't let me talk about the guy that I think stands the most to break out and be the best sleeper. Boom. Dameon Pierce with the Texans. And I don't know where this random love of the Texans is coming from for me this year because I like Mills. I like Nico Collins. I like Brandon Cooks. I like Dameon Pierce over Marlon Mack, Rex Burkhead. Dameon Pierce is a phenomenal option.
I will agree with you there. The backfield in Houston is hot garbage, so I will take Dameon Pierce to stand atop of that flaming pile of hot garbage. All right.
I like it. And we'll just skip over the flaming pile of hot garbage that is tight ends for the AFC South.
Agreed. Let's move to the wide receiver position, and this is where some big changes occurred, right? A.J. Brown no longer in Tennessee. Julio Jones no longer in Tennessee. DJ Chark no longer in Jacksonville, right? And some big-name receivers, well, not big name, but Treylon Burks drafted to the Titans.
That's a big name.
Robert
Woods.
Bobby Trees. Trees is in Tennessee. Christian Kirk is now the wide receiver one in Jacksonville, right?
Maybe slot wide receiver is where fantasy data has him listed. But let's be honest. They have Zay Jones, Marvin Jones, Christian Kirk, Laquan Treadwell, Laviska Shenault. There's just so much.
Don't forget converted Detroit Lions cornerback Jamal Agnew.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, the wide receiver position in Jacksonville is a whole bunch of blah. right?
Yeah.
I think everyone's actively avoiding the Jaguars. I am all in on Michael Pittman this year as a potential wide receiver 1 candidate. Yep. I think Matt Ryan, I said it earlier, Matt Ryan's the best quarterback in that division. Michael Pittman is probably the second best wide receiver Matt Ryan has ever had.
Yeah. Ooh. I mean, that's
second best. I said second best.
Well, that's Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Michael Pittman. Who are you putting Pittman over? You're putting Pittman over Ridley?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. That's a bold statement, I feel like.
But the AFC South is also a place where rookie wide receivers could do some damage. We talked about Treylon Burks, right? A guy that I know you really like him is Alec Pierce in Indy.
Yep.
A guy I really like in Indy is Paris Campbell. Now, I know he's not a rookie, but I really like Paris Campbell. And the player that I like the most, or the wide receiver that I like the most in the AFC South, especially one who's going to outproduce his ADP, is Nico Collins.
Yeah.
Nico Collins is coming off the board as wide receiver 74, an ADP of 168.6. Nico Collins will greatly outproduce his ADP. I am all in on Nico Collins this year.
Yeah, and you talked about everybody that I wanted to talk about.
Well, I tried to hit on at a high level. I know you. Go ahead.
No, I think you did a great job. I think those are all guys that I'm interested at where they're going right now. The one name that we didn't really talk about, and I think should be talked about, is Brandon Cooks as just the consistent. Like, I wouldn't.
Oh my gosh,
Brandon Cooks is a stud of consistency, where he's just always a wide receiver 2. And is he going to be the potential Michael Pittman stud wide receiver 1? I don't think so.
Nope.
But he is a stud of consistency. He's going to put up wide receiver 2 numbers. And is he going to give you some week winning games? I would assume so. Again, this is thinking Houston is probably taking some steps forward, slightly getting out of the basement. But in the same breath that I'm saying, like, Houston, I feel excited about. I feel like they're moving in the right direction. I think Jacksonville is also. I just feel that everybody is pointing to Jacksonville as, oh my God, Jacksonville's going to be amazing. Every part of it's going to be amazing. And I think we're going way, way too far.
Who are you talking to that is saying that?
I mean, if you ask anybody about Trevor Lawrence, oh, he's going to be so good this year. Trevor Lawrence is going to be phenomenal. All right, well, what else on that team? Travis Etienne, he's going to be phenomenal. Okay, well, who's going to be catching the ball? Like, that's the biggest question for me. And it's like, well, we just brought in these guys, and it's like, yeah, you brought in guys.
You brought in bodies. Congratulations.
You brought in guys, and one of the guys you brought in, Evan Ingram, can't catch the ball. And I love the people out there that are like, well, everybody got down on Jamar Chase for not being able to catch the ball last year. See what that got you. Okay, I live in New York. I am not a Giants fan. I live in New York. Evan Ingram hasn't been able to catch consistently forever. This isn't the same.
All right.
I went a little sideways on that one. But yeah.
That will do it for our AFC South breakdown. Make sure you're giving us a follow. We're at the Fantasy Facts. I'm at Dynasty_Pat. Seth is at FF the At Home Dad. We are on YouTube. Find our YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification button. So when we come out, we do the rest of the AFC. When we do the NFC, you get notified right away, and you can come check out our videos. Now, if you're interested, you can head on over to underdog.com. You can use our promo code FAQS, FAQS, at underdog.com for a 100% deposit match up to your initial deposit of $100. You heard Seth and I talk about fantasy data and fantasydata.com. That's where we get all our numbers for the show. You can use our promo code FAQS, FAQS, at fantasydata.com, and you can receive 20% off of your subscription purchase. And with that, good night, everybody.
Catch you on the flip side.